We never said he should be dropped from the red ball team. We never said that. So, yeah.
Got an unbelievable test record and especially a good record in goals. So not the best idea to drop him from there.
No. We don't want that.
Yeah, just keep him away from the white ball.
Welcome to another episode of Sri Lankan Cricket Podcast with Vida and Bora. And this episode is sponsored by Stag Sports Australia. And I'm here with my co-host Sohan. How are you doing, Bora?
Doing good, Vida. Excited to be having a chat about the Sri Lanka versus Pakistan Test Series. A lot of cricket happening at the moment. Sri Lanka just finished the Australia Test Series and straight into Pakistan Test Series. So few things to discuss today, but good to be here.
We are recording this on Saturday. As we speak, the test match is happening at goal and we are 5 down for 99 at the moment. We are in a bit of trouble. We'll talk in detail in this episode. Bora, this is our 50th episode. When we started this in the pandemic, I was at home quarantining and you were stuck in Melbourne, and we never thought we'll get into a 50th episode when we started recording this, wasn't it, Bora?
Yeah, you're right. It started out of boredom and thought we'll start putting a bit of content out, but then cricket's been pretty busy. And it's a topic we love talking, and with the support we've been getting, we've been tagging along, and to be at 50, I think that's when you reflect back on some of the episodes we've done and some of the wins Sri Lanka has been part of, or for us to be part of the wins. Good effort, I guess, from the both of us to keep tagging along. So pretty good.
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, what kept us going was the support we received from our listeners. Like when we started recording this, I mean, we didn't know how to record a podcast or edit one, or we didn't know anything, but we went ahead and did it anyway. And you guys been with us so far in this journey, and that kept us going. Thank you for listening to our ramblings, our rants, and our blowouts. Because last year, following Sri Lanka, it hasn't been the best. Now, of course, in the last couple of months, we started to taste some success, but it wasn't the best when we started recording this last year. But 50 is a good effort. I think we should keep going and try to make it to 100, Bora.
Yeah. One episode at a time, as we say.
Exactly.
The milestones will take care of itself. I'm just blabbing on about some of the things we hear about when we play cricket, how we motivate each other to keep pushing performances. But I guess, we love following Sri Lanka and its performance, so we'll keep plotting along. Just quickly, we've been quiet over the last week, and a lot of it has been to do with what's been happening in Sri Lanka. We thought wasn't the right time to be releasing some episodes with view of what was happening in Sri Lanka. So still we are fighting through that. So just a quick shout out or a lot of thoughts going back to Sri Lanka in support of us trying to get back things on to the right track.
Yeah, we are in a crucial moment in our history, and things can change very quickly, though. That's how politics works in Sri Lanka. But we are not here to talk about politics, but you can't keep politics out of anything in life. So it is what it is. It's there. We should talk about it when you have a platform like this. I mean,
exactly.
not many
Exactly.
people choose to use the platforms they have to talk about it and spread a message to their listeners or followers. So we try to do what we can, but we keep a close eye on the situation back home. I mean, I'm tired of explaining it to uh, my friends here in Australia, because it's things change so much. And I mean, I haven't been on the phone checking Twitter or news updates like this for the last 10 years. So it's been it's been really tough for the last couple of weeks. I can imagine what other people in Sri Lanka are going through. They're anxious, and they want things to settle down and get back to some sort of normalcy. So that's what everyone is hoping for. So I think they're fighting a good fight, and we are backing them all, and we are with you. Let's I think we should get back to cricket. Otherwise, we'll be
Yeah,
talking about the political situation in Sri Lanka. So um,
exactly.
yeah, we'll talk. We'll have a look at the teams for so Pakistan are playing three fast bowlers. Obviously, the test is playing at goal, and I just saw that they decided to play the second test at goal as well, Bora. Maybe because of
Yep.
the situation in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the both test matches will be played at goal. Yeah, before the teams, you had a look at the pitch, Bora. I didn't get to see the pitch report. What do you think about the pitch? Didn't look
Not your traditional goal pitch for sure.
no.
I think on the back of, I mean, if you take a few steps back, if I mean, starting from the first test which we played against Australia, was too bare of a pitch where it started to take turn from day one, and it backfired for us. I think we went to the drawing board, spoke to the curators, and said, "Look, we need a good enough pitch that covers to the first 3 or 4 day, and then it starts to take spin." So that worked in our favor, because I mean, on the back of Chandimal's big innings, that meant we didn't have to bat a second time,
Mm.
uh, and our spin bowlers got on top. So I think that would have been what they discussed, and they would have kept flooding the pitch, get more water underneath, because there was a short period to prepare before coming in to the Pakistan test match. So there seems to be a little bit of grass covering than normal, like not your traditional. That's why I say not the traditional goal pitch.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know, on when you look on the TV, it looks like it's still got a bit of softness underneath, or it just looks like it's still, how do I say it? It's not nice, dry, like not enough. I guess the what the term I'm looking for is, it looks to be very soft, and the
Yeah.
grass seems to be loose underneath. So
Yeah.
um, it looks very tacky. It's like there's been overnight rain. There might have been overnight rain. I'm not sure, but just looking at the game on TV, it just looks not your normal goal pitch. That may be the reason why Pakistan had gone with three fast
Three
bowlers.
fast bowlers. Yeah.
Um, but generally, Pakistan teams have had strong bowling attacks, and um, when you look back at some of their team setups, they rely on one spinner who bowls long spells,
Mm.
and generally the workload is shared between the fast bowlers who plot around from the other end, keep changing, while the spinner like Yasir Shah, Danesh Kaneria in the past, Sakle and Mushtaq, they tend to bowl spells. Said Ajmal was another spinner.
Mm.
They'll just keep plotting along from one end, and the fast bowlers rotate. So that's their method of playing.
Mm.
Whereas Sri Lanka, when we play in goal, we tend to have two spinners sharing the workload, and the fast bowler takes the new shine out, the new ball shine out, and hope for the best if he gets a breakthrough. So looks like we've stuck to our traditional method of going as with the one fast bowler and the bulk of it being the spinners. So
Yeah,
that made Asita missed out into the playing 11. Pathum looks like he's not fit enough to get back into the team past COVID. So
yeah.
the change at the top of the order.
That comes in.
Yeah, at the moment, we are not. It's not looking good for Sri Lanka. Generally, not generally. I mean, because we are playing so much cricket in goal now, it's almost teams know what's the template to have a good first innings or a first innings score, that you only want to bat once on in goal, because generally it's otherwise it becomes a minefield to bat on. So at the
There's
moment, Sri Lanka looks like they'll definitely bat twice,
yeah.
because with the current scoreline, 90 odd for five.
Hmm.
Uh, we're struggling, so we are playing catch-up cricket at the moment.
Yeah. Now, like I was surprised when I saw we went with one fast bowler, Bora, because with Pakistan, you don't want to prepare a spinning pitch as well, because Yasir Shah he had really good returns against Sri Lanka, especially in Sri Lanka. I think he has taken more than 25 wickets in Sri Lanka
Yeah,
in like 3-4 games.
yeah,
So you don't want to prepare a pitch that will give him too much of assistance as well. But as you said, like there's pluses and minuses when you play at the same venue for a long period. Like you know the pitch and you know how it behaves, but if it go works against you, and you know what's going to happen as well, so you have to be careful when you prepare a pitch, especially against the Asian side. So I thought they'll go for a bit of a flatter pitch
yeah,
for the first test, and even if you get a draw out of the first test, they'll go for
yeah.
a pitch where you can push for a result in the second test. But
I
it
think
looks
that's
like
the
they've
mindset.
gone with the second
Yeah,
option.
I think that would have been the pitch they wanted to prepare. Have it, good
Mm,
flat track, which helps the batters out and pushes more towards the draw side than,
make it hard, roll the grass.
yeah.
Yeah.
They might have thought in Sri Lanka, generally, you tend to leave a bit of grass on it to hold the pitch and make it flat. As the like second and third, by the second and third day, it dries out and becomes, a good batter's paradise. Where like similar, like when we play at SSC or NCC, like that first hour or first session is generally where the ball does a bit, and then it just becomes a good flat track.
Mhm.
So it looks like that's what they've tried to work on to the pitch. So that's what would have been communicated to them. But might be that overcast conditions, or because I mean, watching the game just before lunch, it looked like there was a heavy cloud cover just behind the pavilion. So it generally the rain tends to come out from the sea towards the grounds, but this was behind, so it might have been a passing by one, but that meant the conditions that could be why the pitch looks so tacky
Yeah,
on
probably.
the screen.
Yeah.
um, and I mean, Pakistan's fast bowlers, these are pretty good bowlers. They
Yeah.
are one
Shaheen,
of the
he's pretty
correct.
good with the new ball. He almost,
Yeah,
every time he'll make a breakthrough with the new ball.
correct.
Yeah.
And I'll just like to, because we were talking about the first game, I watched a little bit of it. There was a walk you through what happened to Osada Fernando. He was batting really well at the start. He was leaving balls outside off stump. I mean, good position, and he looked settled. But this is where good teams or good bowling teams work batters out. So what happened was then there was a change. Yasir Shah came into the attack, and being a spinner, he's onto the stumps a lot more. That meant so they had to play almost most of the balls that were at him. And then um, Hassan Ali came back in for another spell. First ball outside, or like a wide ball outside off stump, a ball that Osunda has been leaving so well. draws his bat at it and gets a nick behind. So it shows how
sucked into it.
You need to, how much you need to concentrate in Test cricket to know, different types of bowlers, what lines they're bowling. You cannot remain, switch off for a long period, because what happened was sucked into playing every ball. His head was, I think, moving into the ball a lot more. Wide outside off stump meant he again poked at it. It doesn't look good on as a test dismissal, especially everyone would, why is he poking his bat for such a wide ball? So that's the bowling strategy of the Pakistan team that led to that dismissal. But unfortunately, that meant because Kusal Mendes, the over before got out, Angelo Matthews and Chandimal were struggling. Angie couldn't get off to a run early on, so that pressure that was created between the fast bowler and Yasir Shah, and eventually Shah getting the wicket. Soft dismissal, Angelo trying to go over mid-on. Again, not the best shot to have played. So we are behind the 8 ball at the moment, especially in a 5-day test match in the first session. It's going to be a very hard game to get back into it. So it's again, you face situations like this in the dressing room. The discussion would be, let's try to build a partnership slowly, get into a more realistic target now. They would have closed down on the 400 target, 300 plus target they would have talked about. That's gone out of the window. Now it's, okay, let's get up to past 200, 250. If you can get close to 300, let's try to see it. So now this is where in 5-day cricket, your targets plans tend to change and try to adjust, because now we are trying to play catch-up cricket.
This is what I don't understand, bro. Why do we do this in a first test of a series? We are the home team. We should play to our advantage. I don't understand. We did it with Australia, and we are doing the same with Pakistan. So it's, I don't know what their thinking is. But looking at the teams, Niroshan Dikwal hasn't been the best behind the wickets especially in the second test of the Australia series. It'll be an important series for him, I think, because the runs he gets in that position, we talked about this before as well, is very valuable and very important runs. But now we have a competition for places in this team. So he'll have to make runs and do less mistakes behind the wickets. I know the pitch is turning, the bounce is uneven, but especially when you're when we are playing catch-up cricket, we can't let chances go. And it'll be a very important series for him.
Yeah, you're right. I'm a little bit biased towards Dikwal, so I'll defend him in a corner, because I know he's one of the best clubsmen we have in Sri Lanka. It wasn't the best series for him. I think he'll reflect on it as well. But I still think he's one of the best. His record speaks for its own, because he's about to be one of Sri Lanka's leading wicket keepers when it comes to dismissals. So a bad series and a keeper, as soon as they have one bad game, they get highlighted really fast. That's unfortunately part of being a wicket keeper. The games they play and the more they go unnoticed means they're doing their job. So it's unlike a bowler who goes without taking wickets. A bowler gets highlighted. If you don't get wickets, you're struggling to hold your spot. A wicket keeper, one bad game and it's like, a lot of alarm bells going. But I think it comes along because we have more keepers in the team, like your Kusal Mendes, Dinesh Chandimal. Them being there in the 11 already means the team can be flexible to say, Chandi, I want you to take on the gloves. You bat at number 6. We want to bring a Kamidu Mendes into the batting order. So But whereas now they've gone and said, Chandimal, you're scoring runs, we need you batting at 5. We still want Dick Weller to be behind the gloves. So bit of a toss up there. But you're right. I'm pretty sure he's feeling the pinch of. I mean,
Yeah.
people saying, "Look, got to start scoring runs, or you have to be good behind the stumps."
Yeah.
So,
I'm a big fan of the color, bro. Don't get me
yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
But like we tweeted, what's your 11 for the first test, and we had some replies from our listeners saying that Chandimal should wicket keep and Dikwal should make way to come in the Mendes in the team. But
yeah,
I'm not a fan of that idea because
uh,
Chandi, he scored a double hundred, and
yeah,
he's in that age where he should just play as a batsman. Remember what
right,
happened to Sangakkara when he gave away his wicket keeping
yeah,
gloves? That's where he started scoring massive runs because it takes a lot out of you when you wicket keep for sometimes for 2 days when you're playing test cricket. So
yeah,
when you're batting in the top 5, it's
yeah,
not easy. It was easy to come out and bat and concentrate for long periods. So what
correct,
the role the Iqbal plays in this team is pretty important. I'm not asking
yeah,
him to score 100
correct,
every time he walks out there. What I'm saying is
yeah,
like sometimes the I know that's how he plays, but sometimes his decision making is not the best. I'm sure
yeah,
he when he gets out and go back in the pavilion, he must be thinking, why did I do that? Like
yeah. You're right. And just to sum things up on the wicket keeping role, yeah, they that's one of the main reasons they don't want to unsettle Chandimal and Kusal
yeah,
Mendes, giving them the glove work when they are the specialist batters we've got. Coming to Mendes, yes, Mendes has gotten on to a really good start in his Test career. It's good that we've got the sixth batsman or the seventh batsman in the team pushing for a spot in the top order. That's a competition that keeps the other batters top of it. They know there's a guy who's come in, done the job, has gone out of the team again. So you got to start scoring runs. So um, and Dick Weller is the wicket keeper we've got. I'm not sure there might be another keeper down the line that we who's pushing for a spot, but at this stage, Dick Weller's there, and hopefully he'll bring out the goods by pushing out a bad series behind him really fast. So that's to sum up him. Bowling Prabhat Jayasuriya, I mean, picked
yeah,
up his spot into Test cricket, and he started swimming really fast. Didn't drown. Unreal first Test match for him. So he'll take a lot of confidence leading, and he's a mature guy. He's in his early, he's a 30-year-old spinner. He knows his game, and I think that's the confidence Dimuth has in him and said, look, we know he'll bowl one area and build the pressure. That's
yeah,
why I think he leapfrogged your Sandakans, even Dunit Velalage to a certain degree to beat that into the playing 11. So,
yeah.
and he proved his worth in the test match that he played.
Yeah. You nailed it on the head. You said the word perfectly. You said the maturity. We saw it in him because he's into early 30s now. I think he's 30 now, and he has played enough first class cricket. So you can see that in him when he started bowling. I was a bit worried when they let Abul Denia go from the squad
Yeah.
because we discussed about this, but he was our
Hmm.
main bowler. All the others,
He,
we didn't have a specialist spinner looking at that squad. Ramesh Mendes hasn't had a good series in Bangladesh, so we depended a lot on Ambuldenia to not to take wicket, at least to hold one end and
correct.
bowl lots of overs. And series against Australia, we haven't bowled many maiden overs. Spinners haven't bowled a maiden over. I think there was a stat. I can't remember when. Like, I think we haven't bowled a maiden over in the first test or something like that. I can't. I have to check on that. But so I was a bit worried when they let him go. But Prabhat, he took his chance and he grabbed it from both hands and he just delivered. And 12 wickets on debut. That's he's living his dream. Man of the match. He took wickets against the best team in the world. I mean, that's what you dream of when you play cricket. The other spinner is, do you want to add to that, or I want to talk about Matish Deekshan a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, Prabhat's done really well. Just to add to Lasith, I think we got to look after him a bit more, letting him go from the squad. Not fully agreeing with that. I reckon we could have kept him in that, playing group, because he's an important player. He's low on confidence. I get that, but just keeping in the group so that he can train and work through. So that's something. Or maybe the management thought we'll give him a break so he can have his support network around him. If that's the thought, that's fine. But if it's no, you're dropped out of the system approach, not the best, because we've got limited spinners. We're lucky Prabhat came or did what he did, but if not, we would have struggled. So, and Lasith has a massive part to play for future for Sri Lanka in overseas cricket, as well as, once he has more control of his bowling at domestic or at home games, he'll play a massive part. So we need to look after him a bit more.
No, you're right. We bought in Mahesh Deekshan.
Yeah.
I thought he was only for that test match against Australia, but he's playing against Pakistan as well. He'll have to take the new ball, I think. You love to take the new ball on that pitch with a little bit of hackiness.
I love that. Rick, I'm sure Prabhat's putting his hand up for the new ball as well. But Mahesh, I don't know. We all pick him on his short ball format or the form he's having there. Test cricket's a different game. You've got more time to play. Batters can sit on him, and we've seen that happen in T20, where it's a lot more effective. One day format, not as much. Test cricket seems to be he's starting to drown a little bit, if I use the term correctly. He hasn't played 3-day cricket or 4-day cricket in Sri Lanka for over, I don't know how long. So he's just been part of white ball cricket. So for him, and again, this is what I think the biggest challenge when you have a guy who bowls both ways, like your carom ball, wrong one, or spin, or whatnot. It's a hard one to set fields against. Whereas if you're a traditional off spinner, you have the ball coming into the right hand, you'll have your bat pads and your closing catches, and the rest are onto your legs, more towards covering where they're hitting. But when a guy is spinning both ways, sometimes you almost have a in and out feel. So that's where I think he is at the moment struggling. But he's playing his second test match, so he'll have to adjust really fast into it.
I'm just checking his first class stats, Pura. He has played 4 matches and taken 11 wickets. That's all he has played.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So not even, and compare that to Prabhat Jayasuriya, he's played, I think, 70 odd or 60 odd first class games and got 50 first class wickets. And a guy, see that difference where, Prabhat didn't start really well into the test match, but as the test match went, he settled into his own. We talked about in a previous episode, because those guys are reverse sweeping and playing the sweep a lot. We got to be onto the stumps and a lot more fuller.
Yep.
That's what Prabhat did. He managed to play around his lens, and he never gave up the stumps. That's what a traditional left arm spinner would do, is they're always on to the stumps. So that's what he stuck to. And I keep there's a lovely picture that was taken. I think it was when they were training or when he was playing a match. I think it was training, where his action, it's almost like his actions like that, got twisting at the finish. So his hand, you can see his backhand at the side, front hand like that. That's perfect for a spinner. So I was like, that's a pretty good photo. I almost felt like saying he probably has it, but when I saw that, I felt, oh, that's good to see as a spinner.
But if I had the chance to pick the team, I wouldn't have picked Tikshana in the 11 Bora. I would have played Asita. In the team. I'll have 2 fast bowlers playing, simply because you need a fast bowler who can bowl with the old ball. I think Asita has done that really well in his short career. He can bowl with the old ball. He bowls nice and straight and hit the stumps or hit the pad to take the BW. So and like down the line, we might have to look at Vishwa Fernando as well, because he creates that rough outside right-hander sort of stump when he bowled left arm over the wicket. I don't know what's his situation. Don't know whether he's not bowling well or I know he's in the squad, but the left armers, you're a big fan of left armers, I know for a fact.
Correct.
Left armers do, they tick a lot of boxes when you play red ball cricket. So we need a left armer in your team, especially when you're traveling. When you're playing 3 fast bowlers, you need a left armer in your team. What do you think?
And you're right. We've seen Afridi unsettle the Sri Lankan batters in this first innings already. So left arm is important to in a test team. Vishwa, don't know, and will you look back, could it be the change of management, coaching setup that has brought about thinking differently? Or like I said, maybe he's not bowling to what is required. Maybe the management has a different set of plans which they've identified and they want their bowlers to deliver on, which were probably struggling to deliver on that at training. That's where maybe Asitas and Rajitas are outperforming him at currently within that group. But he would be a important part in that fast bowling group, and you want to see him be part of it, because when you have him in the playing 11, it brings the off spinners a lot more into the play because of the rough that he starts creating. I guess at the moment he's fallen down the pecking order with the fast bowlers, and with only one fast bowler being preferred, the battles between Asita and Rajita. I think I tweeted and we sent you a text message the other day. Rajita has got a little bit of the lucky charm at the moment, which kind of pushes him up the rank. For the games that he's been involved, at some stage, we managed to turn it around.
And win.
Even the Australian Test match, he came back second Test match, we managed to win it. Looks like his lucky streak is about to end with the Test match. We are behind the 8 ball, because in goal we know it's whoever wins it dominantly. So it's not going to be a very tight Test match. I think not really, not even that. We played against Pakistan some time back, and this is where Kitruan played a Test match, and I think we were beating Bad Light, or trying to beat Bad Light to get a win. So
that was a close one.
That was the only one I think we would have still won it between 5 or 6 wickets. But apart from all the Test matches are won very easily. So I mean, we won it inside 3 days in an innings win. Australia beat us with a few days to spare. This match, I think, will end a similar way. And at the moment, it's not looking good for us. So don't know, unless Pakistan has a massive collapse as well, which they are known for.
Yeah. No, anything can happen. We are still in the second session of the test match, so there's cricket to be played. So I think we should do. We should catch up maybe after the third day and do a bit of a review and see how the test match goes. Pura.
Yeah, that sounds good. We've analyzed the first bit of, or the first half of the play where we are struggling, and come back for a quick catch up to see where the series, and we might be able to identify a certain passage of play where we picked up as something interesting. So yeah, that sounds good with us.
Yeah. Sri Lanka has lots of work to do to get back into this test match. So we'll keep an close eye on that. And once again, thanks everyone for listening to us till our 50th episode. And hopefully we'll keep bringing you some quality content. And please keep interacting with us through our social media, especially on Twitter. We have a big following, and we try to reply to you whenever we can. And please keep sending those questions, send your comments. We love it.
Yeah, keep supporting us, guys. Again, love the feedback we're getting. More likes we get, because it gives us a bit of an edge on the rankings. But love reading some of the tweets, replies we are getting. Last few weeks we had a bit of banter about Chandimal as well, which was good. And again, a topic we love discussing. Fantastic player, and it's good reflection of some of the tweets that are coming in. So keep supporting us.
We never said he should be dropped from the Red Bull team. We never said that. So
got an unbelievable test record, and especially a good record in goals. So not the best idea to drop him from there.
No. We don't want that.
Yeah, just keep him away from the white ball. But yeah, once again, thanks a lot for listening in. We'll be back over the next week to record and share another interesting episode.
Catch you guys soon.